Good afternoon. I'm Vivian Beer, and I'm Manager HR Strategy for the PEI BioAlliance. The PEI BioAlliance is a cluster organization that represents over 50 companies working in the bioscience field in Prince Edward Island. We celebrated our 20th anniversary in 2025. So we've established ourselves quite well in the PEI economy and are contributing to it in many different ways. So you can see from this graphic that there's been significant growth over the years. Of course, during the pandemic, companies focused on operations and all the challenges that came with that. You can start seeing now we're starting to get some movement. So we have around 2,200 people working in the sector. So go to the next slide. So we have lots of metrics, so we know what the needs are and what the trends are, that type of thing. This gives you a breakdown of the categories of jobs that we track. So of course, most of it is production and engineering. That's because once the companies, of course, there's some that are, 1 to 5 employees. They're predominantly scientists working through their concept that they're wanting to bring to the market. Each province has a different focuses in terms of bioscience, but in PEI, it's related to natural products, biofarming, so contract manufacturing of drugs, where they work with large companies, and vaccines, fish vaccines, fish health, nutrition, contract research. So there's a range, but it all fits with the economy and what's going on in PEI. So that can be reflected differently in other provinces depending on what their primary industries are. As they grow and they're manufacturing product, that's why you start seeing the demand for production workers. And production and engineering can be different for each company, depending on what it is that they're producing. So you can, in terms of qualifications, it could be someone out of high school to someone with a Bachelor of Science, depending on what, the requirement of that production job is. Engineering could be just around chemical engineering, that type of thing. Then you get into where you probably think most of the jobs are, but there is a portion that are scientists and researcher. And again, that can be lab technician, research technician. So that could be a graduate of the bioscience program from Holland College. There is also an articulated program between UPEI and Holland College, which is excellent because it gives you the perfect combination of academic and hands-on science. So it puts you in a very strong position moving into one of these companies. But that can also be up to a Master of Science and also a PhD, depending on the role. Of these companies, the quality QA/QC is quality assurance, quality control. You can imagine how strict the standards and regulations have to be for these companies. So that has to be carefully managed. So there's definitely a significant number of roles in that area. And then, like any company, you have to keep the books in order and keep clients coming in and managing the HR workforce. And so you have what any company would have. You would have the business administration folks as well. So that's pretty consistent, has been consistent over the years. We've probably seen some growth, a little bit more growth in the production area. in more recent years because companies have really been growing quite rapidly. Okay, the next slide. This is just a quick little picture. Some of these products might be familiar. I'm sure if you've gone to the drugstore, you've seen the honeybee, the gummies, the cold products. So that's a large company here in Charlottetown. The fish just representing fish health, nutrition, vaccines. You'll see here at the bottom yogurt. We actually have one company that uses chitosan from mushrooms, and that's used as a preservative, which is an alternative to animal-based ones. So it's perfect for food products that are looking for a vegan label. So that they've had quite a growth area. Very interesting company. And this company with the cosmeceuticals, you see all these different bottles, a company in Summerside that has an extensive range of retail and professional level skincare products that they sell across Canada. And they've had steady growth. And then where you see the folks in the suits, that would be in a biopharma environment in BioVectra, where they would be producing drugs. So, and then of course the other with the microscope, a lot of companies, still in that development stage where they would require some help. So it kind of gives you a little bit of variety of the roles and the types of companies. I'll mention later, but I highly encourage you to follow the news of the sector, and I'll tell you later how to do that, to kind of get to know the companies a little bit more and what they're doing. The next slide. Okay, and I had mentioned this. So these are just a few of the types of roles that you would see. I would highly encourage, if you want to know more, to sign up for our Career News mailing list. And that means you'll get an e-blast at any time a role comes up. And it's a great way to develop an ambient knowledge of the types of positions. And you can look at the qualifications and the education level to get an idea of what they're looking for. But keep in mind, when they create a job description, and they'll tell you this, that's their ultimate wish list. They realize they're not going to get someone who's going to check off all the boxes, and they don't expect that. But they put at least what they're looking for. I think that's probably true in other areas as well. So don't let that discourage you if you think you don't hit all the boxes. Just participate and apply for something you think is relatively well matched to your background. Okay, and the next one. So production, I mentioned here, there's production and engineering. So production that's helping to produce the product, but then there's equipment that needs to be maintained, electrical expertise. A lot of these are, following sometimes Sigma 6, like, professional standards to improve efficiency. So you end up going into very sophisticated operations that are really working toward excellence. And the next one. And as I mentioned here, this is just a range of the types of positions you would see in most any company, with maybe the exception of technical writer. That would be, you can imagine there's a lot of documentation related to these companies. So a technical writer is certainly a valuable talent to have. And the next one. So based on seeing or observing who succeeds in getting work in the sector, aside from your skills and education, is these best practices. So I would highly recommend that you, if you have any interest in the sector, even if you haven't graduated yet, that you start researching and getting to know the companies, whether it be in bioscience or really any sector. You have to, inform yourself. So we have a mailing list you can join, and that will tap you into our newsletter, our events where you can actually come and network with the community. We're very open in that regard. You can attend any of our events. So join our mailing list, and also you can tick off the career news, so that way you can get the news as well. Follow our job postings. You can look today. You can go to our, just search PI BioAlliance job postings, and you can see what ones are posted today, and you'll see there's quite a variety. The next would be to send us your resume. I send out an invite at the beginning of this year. I refresh our resume library at the beginning of each calendar year. And then any resumes I receive, I move them into and you saw that I have the categories, so I file them according to categories. So I create Google folders with the resumes, and those are shared with all the hiring managers within our sector. They sometimes will go and just check through and see if there's anyone that's an excellent fit before they advertise the position. So it's not, I wouldn't depend totally on that strategy, but it's a really important part of the strategy is to be able to have your resume in there, so it will get, if an employer sees it, they might reach out to you independently, even, before a job has been posted. Okay, so follow our news. I mentioned that when and you can go to our website on the first page. If you scroll to the bottom, you can see the link to join our mailing list. And then the next, attend our bionetworking sessions. We have bionetworking sessions every other month. And they're very interesting because we often have companies presenting on what they're doing or the science they're involved in. And it's fine for a lay audience. You don't necessarily have to be a scientist to understand what they're talking about. And it's so there's often, one or two or three presentations, and then a question and answer after, and then we have like a stand-up lunch. So those are golden in terms of making connections that a lot of, it's challenging for any sector to kind of have informal events to connect with people. But that is really important if you want to be doing some networking and connecting with future employers. I have seen, there's certainly magic that can happen. You can end up having a very valuable conversation with somebody, and they'll mention, connect with this other person and mention that I spoke to you. So that's kind of an endorsement, and that can help. Little things like that can help get you in the door. And the next one. So these are the links that you can, I realized there's a mistake here. That top one, BioAlliance.com, just put PEI in front of it. I'll have to correct that. You can see here that it's PEI BioAlliance.com/companies. Then you can go to job postings. LinkedIn, the bioscience community and PEI are heavily, very busy on LinkedIn, especially the smaller companies. Like the larger companies have, some communications and marketing, but the smaller companies, they use LinkedIn to get their news out. So when you go to our website, you can go to this link and go to the company's link, and you can see who's in the sector. Then just go over to LinkedIn and search those companies and follow them, and make the news, like their news, part part of your feed. We also have a PEI bot considered on BioAlliance page that you should follow as well. That gives you an idea. We're not as active on Instagram. You could connect to us there, but we're very active on LinkedIn. And my email address here at the bottom, feel free when you feel ready to send your resume to me. And if you also would like to reach out and have a one-to-one chat with me, just mention that when you're sending your resume, and we can set up a quick Microsoft Teams call to have a chat if you have any specific questions related to your situation. And that's it. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you so much, Vivian. Like, I think we lost your sound there, Vivian.
Oh no, I'm here.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm kind of half reading these questions.
Perfect. Maybe I'll read out the first one just for the recording, and then we have the. So the question is, with companies like these and their job postings, where do university students and new graduates fit within their multi-year work experience requirements, or are there specific student-related roles?
That's been a challenge from the dawn of time, isn't it? That's a bit of an advantage for the students in the articulated program. Any time you get hands-on lab experience or research experience is always going to give you an advantage and can be counted toward having some work experience. So you could emphasize the lab work or anything you're doing within your program that could contribute to hands-on type of experience. With the articulated program, of course, for your 2 years with Holland College, you're going to get a lot of hands-on, and there's an OJT program connected to that. So that would contribute to work experience as well. So yeah, there are some companies, specifically BioVectra, that do offer summer positions, so that can give you some work experience as well. We also have an organization that's affiliated with us, and it's called, the acronym is CASTL, CASTL. I would highly recommend that you visit their site, because they do have postgraduate, like after your graduate programs that you can take, you can learn more about biopharma, and they have a reskilling program. So they have programs that help to bridge that gap between education and getting some hands-on experience. We have a training, the CASTL has a training facility in Charlottetown where you can actually get some hands-on experience with equipment. So there are some ways that we are working to bridge those gaps that can help you. And once you get tapped in and check and join our mailing list and that kind of thing, we do a couple of reskilling programs each year. And also I'm noticing there's quite an increase in short programs that some of them are coming up later this month. So definitely check out castlcanada.ca and read through that and check out the program. So I think knowledge is power there in terms of finding ways that you can get that little bit of extra experience that can contribute to that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And there's just another question about OHS job opportunities, and if
what's the OHS?
I think maybe occupational health and safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
There,
perfect.
on occasion, I do see positions related to that. Just I maybe not currently. Just even from week to week, if you're checking in, you're going to see like a completely different variety of kinds of jobs that are coming up. It's quite an extensive range. So you you'll see just about anything if you related to bioscience if you follow us.